Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is the 100th live stream on YouTube. I am streaming to both YouTube and Twitch, and so it's a little funny because I'm new to Twitch. I've only had a few streams over there, but on YouTube, this is episode 100, and it's been quite a journey. Been a lot to learn, a lot to kind of experience and stuff, and oh, hey, we got Stan just showing up in the chat. Yeah, hey, thanks, Stan. Stan says, what's up, everyone? The big 100. We got Jack in the chat, too. And, you know, I really wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for people like you, for Stan, for Jack, for Daniel, who I hope is showing up, and for Moonlight, and for, you know, Chad and Dom and I mean, so many names, you know, Adria, and over on Twitch, Beta, you know, people like you who have just continue to show up and have just been so supportive, even just with your words of encouragement and just I mean, just showing up, just kind of being here, you know, so I have somebody to connect with as I do this. You know, if you guys didn't show up, I wouldn't have anyone to play for, and there were certainly times, you know, throughout it that I was kind of planning on fading out. I was kind of like, all right, you know, I'll try this for a while and then kind of ease out of it. But after a while, it really wasn't till this year, like early this year, I've sort of decided to double down on it and hoping to continue making some improvements and growing it and stuff. But yeah, this streaming has been really great. Been a lot to learn on the way, but it's been really good. Just to kind of let you know what the plan is for this stream. You know, I think I'm going to kick things off with an instrumental, just give people some time to show up. But hopefully when people do show up, there's a few things I'd like to do. One, I actually made a little video edit. I went back and downloaded some of my first streams, and most of them are unlisted now, so you can't even go back and watch them. But I still have access to them, and I kind of downloaded them, and I didn't want to make you guys watch the whole stream, but I thought it'd be neat to kind of just grab a few like little moments from the first few streams, and so we're gonna watch that and kind of just see like what I came from, like where I started with when I first started doing this and stuff. So I hopefully you guys will enjoy that. I think there's some pretty funny moments in there and some pretty neat comparisons to make, you know, like based off of when I first started in like my persona in front of the camera versus like where I am now. And a few other things. Adria, I'm hoping she shows up because she actually had some questions she had asked, and I thought I would kind of, you know, take the time to sort of answer those questions for her. And it's certainly, if any of you guys have any questions that you're curious about, you know, go ahead and ask them, and I'll do my best to answer. And one thing she had asked me, she had first asked like what was the first song I ever learned, and then kind of said it would be fun, to kind of see where things have taken me as an artist, and so that sort of gave me the idea. I thought I would share some of the key songs that that really motivated me and inspired me and helped me grow as a guitarist and as an artist in my songwriting. And so I was going to share some of that with you guys. Also going to kind of dive into the meaning of the lyrics behind my songs. That was sort of a suggestion from Daniel. And then lastly, I do have a planned set list, but by all means, with this being the 100th stream, if there is a song you guys would like to hear. Oh, hey, we got Dom in the chat. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate that. Yep, Dom says, happy 100 QMK. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And again, Dom, you were a big help with that too. You've always expressed such kind words to me and inviting me to be a guest on your stream. I certainly appreciate that. And introducing me to the headphones and was it headphones and music? I just know I know of it as Ham, but Chad's community that he with all these other online musicians, I really appreciate you introducing me to that community, and it's been fun getting to know all you guys and being a part of that. And so so thank you, Dom. I appreciate that. But yeah, for I have some songs in mind, but by all means, if there's a certain song any of you want to hear, make a request, and I will take requests. I will. I'd be more than happy to play whatever song you'd like to hear. Dom says, that's what it's all about, friend. Well, thank you, Dom. I certainly appreciate that. Let me go ahead and I'm going to kick things off first, just play an instrumental for you guys, and then I think we're going to dive into that video. I made a video just showing some kind of highlights from my first few streams. Again, my first few streams are actually unlisted on YouTube, so you guys can't see them. So I'm giving you kind of some exclusive access to my early streams, and we'll see where I came from with that. But let me go ahead and get set up. Yeah, thanks again, guys, so much for your support. And today I really want to be. I just want to be thankful. It's funny, if I'm being honest. Getting to 100, part of me is like, man, I'm not sure that I'm where I want to be yet, and you would think 100 streams is like, in my mind, I think, I certainly have goals that I'm still trying to reach, and I'm not sure that I've reached them yet. But looking back, I've definitely come a long way, and there's definitely been some obstacles that I've had to learn how to navigate through. So it's so easy, I think, sometimes to reach a milestone and just be looking at where you still have to go, and just not take a moment to appreciate what you've accomplished. And so, if anything, I'm sure that again there's a lot to learn, but just having the discipline to just stick with it, for 100 episodes, I know that's something that I shouldn't take lightly, and so I don't want to. I want to be grateful for this evening. So I'm thankful that you guys are here to celebrate with me. Going to kick things off. This is an instrumental. This one's called Hard Goodbyes. So, but we're not saying goodbye just yet. Goodbye to the old streams or something. I don't know. But here we go. Thank you. All right, again, that one was called Hard Goodbyes, and that one is available. You can find it on Spotify or wherever you like to listen to music. Let's catch up with the chat. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy. We're celebrating 100 episodes today, so thank you to everyone who has been so supportive, who's continued to show up to these streams. Definitely could not have done it without you guys. You're the whole reason, this is even worth doing. Hey, we got Adria in the chat. Appreciate you tuning up. I think I need to tune up my guitar. So I appreciate you tuning in, Adria, because I am actually taking many of your suggestions. Adria made some. I kind of reached out to a few people and was asking, like, what would you like to see for a 100th episode? Because I wasn't really sure what to do. And to be honest, like, I couldn't really, do anything all that elaborate. But Adria had some great suggestions. So I might actually, since you're here, I might go ahead and start diving into some of the things she had suggested. Let's see here. Just catching up with the chat. Yeah, a lot happening. Oh, 1 second. All right. Yep. So keep Jack in your prayers. Jack says, I got to do another medical procedure, so that's no fun. Sorry about that, but I do hope it all goes well. I'll be praying for your brother. Dom says, hello. And there, let's see. Catching up. Jack, hey, Stan. You have some hellos. Appreciate everyone, just greeting everyone in the chat. Anyone who's just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. Stanley says, I wish we had more time to get some bloopers together. Yeah, I couldn't go back through every single episode. That would have taken forever. But I thought it'd be neat to at least go back to the first few. There's a few key moments I wanted to grab there. I'm hoping Daniel will tune in because I've actually got the moment that Daniel and I first met. There's kind of a story behind how he started showing up to these streams and stuff. And but we'll wait for Daniel to get here for that. Oh man, it sounds like Dom might have some medical stuff going on. It says, me too, Jack. A few weeks ago, I fell apart waiting to get put back together. Well, I'll be praying for you too, Dom. Hoping everything goes well. Hope it goes smooth. And yep, same from Jack. Yep, Adria's ready to rock. All right, awesome. And thanks for the applause, Jack. Thank you for the hearts, everyone. All right, well, here we go. Adria, give me another shout out. Just say hello real quick. I just want to confirm that you're out there, and we'll start with some of the things you had suggested. First off, Adria had asked a few questions that were guitar related, and so I was going to share that stuff, answer those questions for her, and if any of you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask, they can be about guitar, they can be about music in general, they can be about these streams, whatever you'd like to ask about, just let me know, and I'll do my best to answer it. But she had asked a few music-related questions, and she had also asked about, some songs that had sort of influenced me. And so I was going to kind of share, kind of go through a few key songs that, that were very influential to me as an artist, that had influence on some of the songs that I've written, and all that stuff. So we shall see how that goes. Stanley says, my favorite one was the reaction segment you did. Was it a particular reaction segment, or was it, did you just enjoy the reaction segment in general? I'd be curious. And if any of you have any, favorite moments or anything you'd like to share, I would certainly like to hear those as well. So let's see. I'm not sure. I don't know if Adria is still out there. If she is, we'll go into the questions. If not, might just go into the reaction segment, reacting to a video here. I ended up going back and kind of checking out the first few episodes and stitching together just a few clips from those. So all right, we got Adria. Yep, cool. All right, let's go ahead and we'll. Cool. Yep, we'll answer some of those. Yep. All right. Great. Here we go. So first off, Adria had asked me if I could talk more about guitar pedals, like just kind of, what's the deal with them? And she was asking particularly about a drop tune pedal that she saw. So Adria, what that is. So the drop tune pedal, I kind of had to look it up myself. I had an idea what it was, but the way it works is it modulates your guitar, meaning it can actually change the pitch of the strings that you play in the notes. So, for example, you know, my guitar right now, if I play the highest string, I've got it tuned to a D. So if I play that, it's a D. But what the pedal can do is I can step on the pedal and have it drop down a half step, so it would go to a D flat. So if I played it, it would sound even lower. Let me get this mic set up real quick. There we go, much better. Okay, yeah. So so if I were to play it and I stepped on the pedal, it would sound lower. And there's actually, I think the pedal you were referring to, it can go down a whole octave, so you can keep, you can keep like dropping the tuning of your guitar without having to actually change the tuning. It's kind of an easy way to sort of get to lower keys. Now, it's a little confusing calling it drop tuning because there's a technique in guitar called drop tuning where you take, how do I explain this? So there's a standard tuning for the guitar. I'll even do that real quick. Usually in standard tuning, the two strings on the end, the high string and the low string, are the same note. They're just on different octaves. Okay. What drop tuning is you take that note, the lowest note, and you tune it down 2 steps. That's one step. Here's another step. So it matches the third string down. And what this does, this allows you to play a chord on those low 3 strings. Now, you might know this already, just because I know you've kind of learned some songs on guitar and you know, playing a lot of like Chevelle and that kind of stuff. You've probably learned about drop tuning. But for anyone who doesn't know, so yeah, you can play these low 3 strings as a chord, and that just frees you up, you know. So that gives you freedom to have these like, well, I got to tune these big extensions. You can play these big chords with it. Let me get that one string. I think my guitar solo put it out of tune. Yep. There we go. So, all right. So that's what the drop tune pedal does. Now, in general, pedals are kind of an interesting thing. All they are, they're just different effects that you can put on your guitar. And so let's see here. I've actually got a few. Okay, so the way I play, let's see here. So through all this, I've been using digital software, you know, like well, I guess all software is digital. I've been using like digital guitar amps and digital pedals and that kind of thing. I create my whole guitar tone on my computer, basically. It's actually been a while since I've played through a real guitar amp. That's kind of the cool thing. That's the cool thing about technology. But there are people that, you know, when they play through a real amp, they like to have a lot of different pedals. My brother-in-law is actually kind of a fan. He likes a lot of different effects. He likes pedals. And that's really all they are. They're just kind of effects that you can add to your guitar sound. On my my setup here, you guys aren't going to be able to see it, but I actually added a pedal board to my setup here so I could demonstrate some of the sounds. So first off, it is possible, like you might have a clean tone, like, you know, no distortion, and you could have a distortion pedal. So your guitar sounds, you know, nice and clean, and then you step on that pedal and you get distortion on your guitar. So that's one use for a pedal. A really popular effect is like a delay pedal. So I just turned it on. Hear that like echo? So that's really useful for like solos and stuff, you know. So yeah, so that's a common one. You know, you can add like delays and to your guitar sound. There's a chorus effect, which is kind of this sort of sounds like that. You know, so that's kind of a cool effect. There's like a phase effect, sort of similar thing. You can hear like, yeah, so there's a lot of different like pedals that just make different effects like that, you know, do different sounds, and you can kind of play around with them and stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of the deal with pedals. Now, every guitarist is kind of different, so Oh, hey, we got Abe in the chat. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Abe. Hope you're doing well. Abe, I know you play guitar. Do you mess around with pedals much, or are you not really a pedal guy? Because that's what I was just saying is a lot of guitarists are different. And, you know, for me, I've never really been a pedal guy. I've certainly messed around with pedals before, but I'm kind of a simpleton. I just like, you know, I just want a good amp, and I just want, you know, a good clean tone and a good distortion tone, and that's about it, you know. So, yeah, so that's kind of my deal with all that stuff. So sounds like Abe does like pedal. Yeah, Abe says the basic creation of phaser, flange, and chorus are technically all versions of delay. Yeah, I guess that is true. I think in chorus there's kind of a weird thing where you're almost like detuning the guitar. It's like you're almost creating like a stereo. I might confuse this a little bit, but you're almost creating like a stereo effect. It's like one signal of the guitar you're tuning up a little bit, and the other you're tuning down or something, so it evens out. I think, if I'm getting that right, it's something like that, but it creates a pretty cool effect. So yeah, so lots of fun sounds you can create with pedals. And again, me, I've always, probably my background in guitar. So even though I love rock and metal, for the longest time when I was a kid, when I was first learning guitar, all I had was my dad's acoustic guitar and my brother's acoustic guitar. So I played rock songs on an acoustic guitar, but that was always enough for me, you know? Like, I was never like, man, I need an electric guitar. I didn't get my first electric guitar till I was 20, till like my 20th birthday. And yeah, we might get to that story in a little bit. But yeah, there's a kind of an answer to your question, Adria. Hopefully that sort of explains it. Another question, kind of in a similar vein, Adria had asked, would having multiple guitars be helpful? And I thought that was kind of a funny question. I'd be curious. Hey, we got Hannah in the chat. Yep, sup, y'all. Hey, Hannah, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Hannah, how many guitars do you have? And that goes for everyone. How many guitars? Put in the chat how many guitars you own. Believe it or not, I only own one guitar. This is it. So, there's some people who love to just like collect guitars. They'll get a lot of them. But Adria's question, is having multiple guitars helpful? It depends on what you mean. If you're just learning how to play, then to be honest, I don't think you need more than one guitar. I think you just need something to play on. Again, for the longest time, I just played on an acoustic guitar, and that was fine. Abe says technically has four, but mainly uses one, it looks like. Cool. So I do have a bass guitar. I should say that. So I don't know if that counts as two, but I kind of count bass as its own thing. But the only other guitar I would really need is like an acoustic, maybe. But even that, I don't need it right now. I have access to my brother's Martins, so it's like, you know, until I don't have access to that, I think I'm okay. But yeah, you know, I think if you're just learning, you know, again, I'm a little bit of a minimalist, so just having like one guitar to play on is kind of enough. Now, it depends on the style you want to do. Obviously, if you're wanting to do like rock and metal, you're gonna need an electric guitar. So if all you have is an acoustic, then yes, you might want to get an electric. You know, I did need this guitar. You know, eventually I needed it. It was funny that for the longest time I didn't. I just always had someone else's guitar to play. So, but for different scenarios, it could be helpful. So again, you know, having an electric and having an acoustic, you know, two different sounds, two different styles, so you might need one of each of those. Also, if you do a lot of like recording and you play in different tunings, a lot of times it's better to have a designated guitar for that specific tuning rather than, you know, taking the same guitar and tuning it differently. So like my guitar is in standard D, and I'll drop it to drop C usually. But what is it? But, you know, if I wanted to do a song in standard E, or if I wanted to do a song, if I needed a 7-string guitar to go even lower or something, you know, like, you might need multiple guitars if you're, like, doing a lot of recording. Now, with that said, if you just want to treat yourself to a new guitar, if you're just like, oh, there's that guitar looks so cool, and I already have one, but, you know, I'd love to have a guitar like that. There are people who like to do that, and what I would say is maybe set a goal for yourself and just try to, like, earn it. Just say, like, okay, if I do this, you know, set some kind of goal for yourself, and it's like, if I do this, I will reward myself and treat myself with a new guitar, you know. I think that'd be a good way to handle that, rather than just giving in to, like, oh, I don't need a new guitar, but I want one, and just buying it off like a, just a feeling. I think having, kind of setting a goal and sort of earning that guitar, and then rewarding yourself. I think that's a good way to handle that. And simultaneously, setting aside some money specifically for that, rather than just taking money that might be better for something else. So. Catching up with the chat here, we're getting some good stuff from Abe. Let's see. Hannah says, I have 2 guitars, a Kitty acoustic that doesn't work, and an electric I got for my 15th birthday. The red left-handed one I use in my videos. Actually, I don't think I realized it was... So do you play lefty? I always figured your videos were reversed. Like, I didn't know it was a left-handed guitar. So that's pretty interesting. That's cool. Jack says... you have 1 more than me, Quincy. 2 more if you count the bass. Yeah, yeah. So, well, Jack, just do what I said. Just maybe, set a goal for yourself, and if you reach it, treat yourself to a guitar. Which, if you don't have your first guitar, then I just say, and you really want one, you really want to start learning, then that's the reward right there. Treat yourself to your first guitar and start learning. I think that'd be cool. Abe says. Multiple is good for tunings. Yep. If you play that way with different tunings, guitars with whammy bar versus not. Yep. Yes, drop C all day. Yep. Amen, brother. That's what I like to. There's great music in all different tunings, but for me, drop C is like just a good balance of like you got your high end, but you can get really low and heavy too. And especially like if you use like inverted power chords, so C is not the lowest note you can hit. You can actually do inverted. So really, like, you can kind of get almost like a drop G sound. And you combine that with the bass, and that just sounds like super thick and heavy. So, and you retain that tightness also, like I love that tight low end. So, yeah, drop C is good. If I had the money, I'd have a room dedicated to guitars. Well, maybe someday you'll get that. That'd be cool. Keeps the tone solid. Yep. Awesome. So, so there you go, Adria. Adria, let me know if you're still out there. Hopefully you're getting these answers to your questions. And if anyone else has any questions that they're curious about, let me know, and I'll answer them for you. These are some questions from Adria. Let's see here. Okay, she was asking about playing standing up versus sitting. Now, here's the thing. I actually made a video about this like years ago, and it's actually like one of my most popular YouTube videos. It's kind of funny. I just made it like on a whim, like, oh, this might be a helpful video, so I just kind of made it, and turned out to be like a super popular topic that people were looking up. The thing about playing sitting down versus standing up, the biggest difference is you just have to practice. You just have to practice playing standing up. The reason it feels weird is because you lose the support of your leg. And so you've got this guitar just kind of dangling from you with no like stability underneath it. And it's just a weird sensation. And usually it's a little harder to play because you can't like hunch over it like you might do when you're sitting. So really the only cure for that is just to play standing up. I have to do that sometimes. I have to just put my guitar strap on and just whatever I'm playing, I got to work on it while standing up, One thing I kind of recommend as far as like strap height, I kind of recommend putting your strap on while you're sitting down. Because then that way when you're standing up, the guitar is roughly in the same position as when you're sitting down, Now, that's not to say that you can't adjust it how you like. I know some people like to go like super low with it because it looks cool. And that's fine if you want to do that, just make sure you practice that way. But, as far as like what I think works best, like most efficient, is finding a way. And even better, to be honest, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the classical position. So it's like when the guitar is like between your legs like that. Usually your left leg has to be on like a stool, like a footstool, and elevated a little bit. But having the guitar in that angle and playing like that, technically that's even better. That's okay. Okay, Adria says, I'm back. Sorry I had to send a play date buddy back home with his mom. I will rewatch the last 20 minutes later. Okay, I did answer your questions. So, the quick recap is pedals are just effects for, different sound effects for your guitars. They're just fun. Is it helpful to have multiple guitars? I was just saying you really only need one, but, unless you do a lot of recording and playing different tunings and stuff. But if you just want to, like, if there's another guitar that you just think looks really nice and you want to get it, I mentioned, setting a goal for yourself, achieving that goal, and then rewarding yourself by getting a new guitar or something like that. But and now I'm talking about playing standing up versus sitting down. And what I was saying is, yeah, if you adjust your strap height while sitting down, then that helps the guitar to kind of stay in the same place, whether you're sitting down or standing up. Kind of gives you some consistency with your arms. And even better would be if you played in the classical position. That's when the guitar is kind of between your legs and your left foot is elevated a little bit on a footstool. And that's like the same angle as when you're playing with a strap. The guitar is going to go to that angle. Whereas when you just play sitting down on your lap, you can see the guitar is more parallel with the ground. And that's not exactly how that neck's going to rise up when you wear the strap. So that's not a perfect translation, but it's definitely more convenient to play like this. It's just so easy to grab it and you're good to go. You can play like this. So if you're just sitting like this, put your guitar strap on and kind of tighten it so that it's kind of there. That way when you stand up, your guitar's kind of roughly in the same place. And then you just got to practice standing up. It's weird because you lose the support underneath with your legs. So you just kind of got to get used to how that feels. Yeah, Stanley says standing up makes a difference. Yeah, it's definitely, it's different. Yep. Abe says my daughter is left-handed, but not me. That's interesting. We have a question from, oh, hold up. Abe says, how often do you change your strings? So I try to like get every ounce of, use out of them. To be honest, these strings really need to be changed, and the only reason I haven't done it yet is because I think I'm going to be recording soon. So now I will say, like that would be my plan. Is just every time I'm recording a new song, which would hopefully be like at least every other month, then that's how often I would change them. But I, recently I've just haven't been releasing songs as much as I'd like. I'm hoping that's going to change soon. But I don't like to let things go to waste. So with strings, I'm not going to waste a fresh pair of strings. I definitely try to get my use out of them. But I might start not going so far with that. I might change them more frequently. So, these, I don't think I've changed these probably since I released Love's Not Fair. And so, what was that, 4 months ago or something like that? So again, I think if I could change them like every other month, I think that'd be, ideal for me. But I know it kind of depends on how much you play. And, well, I do play a lot, so I probably do need to change them more. But I like to change them when I've got a recording coming up so I can just, make use of them. So, question from Hannah. One question for the viewers and chat. Okay, and so that's what Abe was answering, saying my daughter is left-handed. Okay. Are there any other left-handed peeps out there aside from me? I'm legit the only one in my family who's left-handed. There's an interesting thing about... that's interesting that you're actually left-handed, so that's kind of cool. Now, as far as... Okay, and so even, Abe was saying his daughter's left-handed, but not a left-handed player. The interesting thing... guitar is really you're using both hands, so you don't really have to be a left-handed player. I know that might feel more instinctive at first, but I think when you're first learning, you could learn either way. It's kind of the same thing with skateboarding. However you want to stand, there might be one way that feels more natural, but since you're just learning, you could learn the other way if you really strive to. And so that's the only challenge is, I know for a lot of left-handed guitarists sometimes. It's probably not as convenient being a left-handed guitarist, but don't worry. There's plenty of resources out there for left-handed guitarists, and there are plenty of great left-handed guitarists. So Jimi Hendrix and Kurt Cobain. So you're in good company. Hannah says, also, any advice on restringing my guitar by myself? That stuff terrifies me. With my luck, I'd ruin the darn thing. I don't think you have to be scared of it. Best I can suggest. I think there's some YouTube videos from D'Addario. That's a string brand. That's the string brand I like to use. What do you like to use, Abe? And anyone else out there, what string brand do you like to use? I tend to like D'Addario, but there's other good string brands too. Shout out to Periphery's company, Misha Mansour's company, Horizon Devices. They actually make some pretty good guitar strings too. But yeah, Even me, yeah. I'm not like, I'm always kind of scared when I change it too. But what's nice is just like, just put some music on and, you know, like some enjoyable music and get your tools out, get your guitar set up. I usually lay it on my bed and I'll watch the video. And one thing I'll do is I don't. I don't take all the strings off at once. I just take off one string at a time, and I don't go in order. I'll start like, you know, with the high string, like the high E, and then I'll go to the middle string, the middle D, and then back to the high string, go to like B, and then the next one A, and then G, you know, like so kind of back and forth just to kind of keep the tension balanced on the guitar the whole time. And it depends on what kind of guitar you have. Most of them, you're probably going to have to wind it a certain way. My guitar's actually got these tuning locks, which is kind of nice. I can stick the string in, pull it tight, and then tighten the tuning lock, and it pinches on the string, and then that way it just holds it in place, and then I can get it up to tune. Most guitars you have to kind of wind around, and but even me, like you know, I don't change guitar strings all the time, so so I always get a YouTube video and kind of watch that just to sort of refresh my mind on how to do it. But don't be too scared. You just got to spend some time, you know, trying it out. And worst case scenario, you know, if you did totally mess it up, just take it to a music store, and usually they'll have someone who works on guitars there, luthier, I believe is what it's called, and just get them to restring it for you. And you know, usually they'd probably do a better job than I would. So yeah, so that can be helpful. Let's see here. Adria says, great idea. Oh, that makes sense. The grip changes when standing as well. That's right. Yep, the angle of the guitar. So that's why, like, you know, if you could practice in a, you know, classical position, that'd probably be the most helpful thing, but it's not always as convenient as just grabbing it and sitting it on your lap. Even I practice, like, I don't always practice in the classical position. I do from time to time, but most of the time I just play with it on my lap, you know. Let's see here. Yep, make sure that strap is secure. In fact, when it comes to straps, I really recommend like getting tuning locks. So my strap, you know, I'll show you if you can see this. 1 second. So I just slip it on, and then I can just wind it, and it there we go, and it kind of wraps around, so it's like locked in place. So so that guitar is not going to fall, you know. So that's a super helpful thing to have. Let's see here. Abe says if I did that, I'd change all the time. I've had to change mine right now too. Yep. With the restringing, it depends on the bridge setup. Yep, that's part of it too. There could be some issues with the setup if the height is adjustable. If the height is adjustable there, but most of the time it's hard to mess anything up. Yeah. Yes, one string at a time. Yep, thanks for confirming that. And Abe currently uses Ernie Ball. Yep, those are great strings. Strings for skinny tip, heavy bottom. Yep, that's a good combination right there. Awesome. So yeah, so don't be afraid of string changing. You know, just, you know, it takes a little bit of learning, but you know, like I said, I kind of like to just listen to some music as I'm doing it. Kind of just makes the process more enjoyable. And usually when I tighten it up, like I won't just. I'll kind of tighten up gradually. Like I'll do like a few steps below the actual tuning that I'm going for, and then gradually kind of ease my way in. So yeah. All right, guys. I think what I'm gonna do. Well, hold on. I might have a couple more questions. Let's see. Okay, so Adria was kind of asking about like the first songs I'd learned. I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. I think I'm gonna play a song for you guys, and then I'm gonna show a video. I made a little video with some clips from my first few streams, and so we'll kind of react to where I came from. You know, these streams are actually unlisted on YouTube right now, so you know, so it's kind of some exclusive access for you guys. So we're gonna check out some of my first few streams, and yeah, and go from there. But let me go ahead and play a song for you guys, and then we'll react to that. And then Adria, I know you had also asked about like some songs that had kind of, you know, sort of influenced me, and so I'm going to share some songs that had done that. So that is all to come, so stay tuned. And by the way, I do have a set list in mind, but you know, if there's a certain song that anyone wants to hear, you know, I'm willing to play it. So. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to play a song called A Place to Call Home. And one thing that Daniel had requested for this stream was that with each song that I kind of talk about the meaning of the lyrics. So before I go into this song, I'm going to talk a little bit about the lyrics, and then I'll play it for you guys. So A Place to Call Home was one of, for this project, my Quincy Kane, music, A Place to Call Home was one of the first songs I wrote. I wrote it years ago. And I to be honest, I think when I first wrote it, well, let's see. The way I would approach writing lyrics, sometimes I would just kind of sing a phrase. Like when I was coming up with the melody, I would just come up with like random words to kind of sing the melody to. And I think I came up with A Place to Call Home. And then I sort of thought like, well, what does that mean? I decided rather than changing it to something else, I used to kind of take whatever I came up with and try to morph it into meaning, try to find like something to write about. And for me, what that meant was, a place to live my dream. And so if I go through the lyrics of that song, the first verse says, "This prison inside of me, concealing what I believe. The potential is obvious, but I'm too scared to set it free." And so that verse is talking about just knowing that I can do this, knowing that I can have a career in music, knowing that like whatever I, set out to do, I can accomplish it. Like I'm capable of doing it, but it's a scary thing to do, because it's not like a lot of other careers where, you go to school for a few years and, you just grind it out, but you're as long as you stick with it, you're guaranteed like some kind of job afterwards or something, and it's like, not to oversimplify that, but, there's a lot of other jobs that essentially you just apply for, and as long as you work hard, there's a bit more of a guarantee, when you're doing something more like in art or in entertainment, that kind of thing, there's not really as much of a guarantee. It's not like, oh yeah, just do this, this, and this, and you're good to go. It's like there's a lot that comes into play, and so I think just kind of being surrounded by a community of people that just seem to be perfectly content with that script of life, that script of graduate school, marry your high school sweetheart, and then get a job, have kids, move in, have your house and stuff, and like, but for whatever reason, I've just kind of drifted, or I guess I've wanted something different, and sometimes it's scary to admit that. It's scary to want something different, it's scary to like, to just kind of like be like, I know you guys everyone has expectations of what's sort of the norm, but, I want to do something different. And so, so it's sort of a song about just sort of dealing with that. The pre-chorus says, "Break down the walls, show me your heart, this is the place where I fall apart." So that's kind of, saying like, again, referring to that prison, for my potential, break it down, set it free, basically. And then the chorus, "You told me of a place to call home, some place that I would not be alone. You showed me love like I'd never known. You told me of a place to call home." And it's a little bit of a conversation with God. Hadn't really like maybe clarified that. Again, this is an older song, so I probably could have, I'm always striving to improve with my lyrics and stuff, but just kind of, trusting that He's got a plan for me and that it's going to work out and such. But the second verse says, "I'm promised a destiny, but I won't trust what I cannot see. So mother will tuck me in to this coffin and bury me." And so the idea behind that was that there is a plan for me, but the fact that I have to step out in faith, I have trouble with that. It's a challenge to kind of, walk and not know 100% where you're going, not really sure what that next step is going to be. And but the consequence of that is, that you're just going to die where you are. So that's a little extreme, but I remember writing that line and sort of thinking, so mother will tuck me in, or what was it? Yeah, so mother will tuck me in. So at first it sounds kind of comforting, but she's tucking me into a coffin, basically saying like, this is, if I don't set out and do this thing, then yeah, I'm just, I'm gonna die here. So it's like I'd rather die trying. I'd rather go out and set out to do it. And after that, it just yeah, repeats the pre-chorus, repeats the chorus. So yeah, Place to Call Home is just a song about, you know, having the courage to pursue that dream and make it to that place where you are living what it is you want to do. And so, yeah, so hopefully that song can be encouraging to any of you, you know. Everyone has dreams of some sort, and they don't all have to be the same thing, you know. Not everyone dreams to have a career in music, you know. Not everyone wants the same thing. Everyone has different dreams. So just because I wrote this about, you know, my dream for music doesn't mean that you guys don't have your own dreams, and that might be something different. And so, you know, whatever your goals are, you know, I want to encourage you that you can do it. You know, you're fully capable of doing that, and just you know, persevere, stick with it, stay strong, and you'll get there. So let me get the backing track set up. Sorry about that. It took me a second to find it. All right. This one's called A Place to Call Home.
Inside of me, concealing what I believe. Potential is obvious, but I'm too scared to set it free. Break down the walls, show me your heart. This is the place where I fall apart. You told me a place to call home, someplace where I would not feel alone. Promised a destiny, but I won't trust what I cannot see. Some other will tuck me in to this coffin and bury me. Break down the walls, show me your heart. This is the place where I fall apart. You told me of a place to call home, someplace where I would not feel alone. You showed me love I'd never known. You told me of a place to call home. You told me of a place to call home, someplace where I would not feel alone. You showed me love I'd never known. You told me of a place to call home.
Thank you. Again, that one's called A Place to Call Home, and that song is available on Spotify or wherever you like to listen to music, so you can check that one out later. All right, let's catch up with the chat. For anyone just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. We're celebrating my 100th stream on YouTube, so if anyone's watching on Twitch, you know, I'm still kind of new over there, but but on YouTube, I've done 100 episodes now, so that's what we're checking out. Thank you, Adria. Adria says, awesome, love those lyrics, so true. Well, thanks, appreciate that, that means a lot. All right, cool. And then, yeah, so what we're going to do now is we're going to react. Oh, hey, we got James Olamide. Yeah, hello. Hey, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Let me know how your week's been so far. And yeah, you know, let me know. Do you play guitar or anything like that? Do you play an instrument? I'd be curious to hear. But I appreciate you tuning in. We're celebrating 100 episodes today. So what we're about to do, I'm actually about to react to some clips that I edited together of my first few streams. So just want to see who all is out there. So Stan, if you're still out there, you know, say hello. Jack, if you're still out there, you know, everyone kind of give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're ready. Awesome. James says it's been great here. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Glad you've been having a good week so far. But yeah, if everyone's ready to go, just let me know, and I'll get this video started. But give me like a thumbs up emoji while you're out there, and yeah, we'll get this started. Let me get things set up so you guys can see it. So yeah, if you on my 1 second. Yeah, something weird happened. Okay, fixed it. Okay, yeah, if you go to my YouTube channel, you know, my first few live streams, you actually can't find them. I made them unlisted just because, you know, they were, you know, outdated. But I went back and watched some of them and kind of grabbed a few like clips, a few little highlights from them, and I thought it'd be fun to sort of see where I came from, you know, kind of see how things have changed. And so, yeah, so you guys should see a black screen right now. You should see me in the small corner. Let me get it so that the audio is going to be okay. Yeah, you guys should be able to hear it when I play it. So, yeah, let me know when you're ready. Yep, Stanley's present. Good to have you. Awesome. Yeah, James plays guitar. Awesome. Yeah, we got a lot of guitarists here. We got, you know, Adria, Abe, Stanley plays guitar. I know he plays a lot of bass. We got Hannah. Hannah, are you still out there? You know, give me a thumbs up. But here we go. Yep, got a thumbs up from Jack. And everyone else, when you're ready for the video, yep. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, Hannah, you're back. All right. Well, great. I played a song, and I was just talking about the lyrics for it, but we're about to react to my first few streams, so I'm glad you could make it for that. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Yeah, we're gonna check out. All right, cool. Got a thumbs up from Hannah. What about you, Adria? You still out there? Everyone, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, and I'm gonna play this clip. So this is. These are just some clips from my first few live streams, and we'll kind of see what I came from and how I started things. So, yeah, we're going to dive into that. So the first thing, just to give you a little bit of context, my first actual live stream, I used to have a friend. Well, I still have a friend, but he used to help me with this. I've got a friend named Sam Fillet, so shout out to him. He and we actually used to be bandmates years ago. Some of you have heard me talk before. Thanks, James, for the thumbs up. Good to know. So Sam and I were in a band together called At War With Myself. This was kind of from around 2012 to 2015, you know, and it was he and I and a few other friends. Cool, we got it from Adria as well. All right, well, here we go. So what happened was I kind of tried to get the band started again, and that didn't really work out. So I realized, like, I kind of realized, like, all right, if I'm going to do this thing, like, I need to be in control, you know, like, I can't, the problem with collaborating with people, like, it's great, but you're kind of at their mercy a little bit, you know, like, there's certain things, like, you might do all your stuff, but if they're not quite coming through with their part, then it kind of keeps you stuck. And I just hated that feeling of feeling like I couldn't do what I needed to do because I was waiting for somebody else to do their part. And that's not like a jab at them or anything. You know, they had other priorities in their lives. You know, that's just kind of how it goes. So I just kind of realized if I was going to have any chance at succeeding in this, I'm going to have to just commit to like a solo career first. But he expressed like he still had interest in doing something with music, and so it was still Quincy Kane. You know, actually at the time it was Quincy Kane Morris when I first started doing these streams. Quincy Kane Morris is my real name, if anyone doesn't know. Kane is my middle name. And yeah, James says, yeah, I've experienced that too. Yeah, it's tough, you know? And so, but, you know, he was a good friend, and he'd proven to be, like, very, you know, like, he came through, you know, reliable. You know, he would do his part. And so it was still under my name, but he was going to be the drummer. And we were going to try to get a band to play for my music, but if that didn't happen, then we were just going to do backing tracks. So that's kind of how the backing tracks came. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip, but the first couple streams, so I've kind of got two first streams. You know, I've got my first streams with Sam, and then my first streams by myself. So what you're going to see here is me and Sam. And also, you know, give me a thumbs up that the audio is okay on this. So here we go. So this is us at Sam's apartment. So Sam played drums. We're at his apartment. He had this cool, like, game room or like, you know, media room.
I know you've coped with this loneliness. You think
We're not going to watch the whole song, but I thought we'd hear a little bit of it. Sam's a good drummer, too. Yeah, he was great. That's the end of the song.
Woo! Little rough, but, you know, first time for everything. All right. We're going to go into this next song here. This one is called Brothers to the End. So, hope you enjoy this one. Yeah, let me know if you have a brother. Leave it in the comment section below.
All right, so real quick, I thought I'd comment on that. So, yeah, so it's kind of neat. You can hear, like, you know, the audio quality. We were still figuring it out. I was definitely, you know, a little insecure, like, man, I hope this is working, you know, and just trying to, like, acknowledge, like, yeah, I know it's probably rough, you know, but, you know, this is our first time doing it and stuff. And I will say, like, one thing you'll notice with these clips, it was nice, you know, having somebody else physically present in the room, because you can kind of, you know, react to each other and sort of have some conversation. And Stan says, wow, I remember this. Awesome. Yeah, this was quite some time ago. Oh, by the way, this is in 2021, in case you're wondering when this was. So this was in February 2021, so kind of crazy. Sam and I were still hoping to get into live shows, but we just thought we would do streaming, like, to kind of, you know, do something, you know, while we were trying to get a band together to do live shows. So
here we go.
now it's just me.
Here's my harsh vocals 2 years ago.
I know it's just me. Distance.
They're not, like, awful, but I feel like they're not as, like, I could tell I was getting out of breath there, you know. They're not quite as strong as they are now, and don't quite have, like, as good a texture. They're a little, like, muffled, you know. So I do think I've kind of improved in that regard. So that's kind of nice to see, like, that I've gotten better. And I couldn't fry scream at the time. That's like the higher screams. So that was nice.
Cool beans. All right. Not too shabby. Again, that song was called Brothers to the End. If this stream has been a catastrophe so far, no worries. This next song's for you. It's called Say That It's Over. All right. This will be our last song, and then we'll be peacing out. Hope you had a good night. Hope you're doing well. And hope you have a happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Because it was February. And you guys have probably heard me say that joke before. Say that it's over. I'd actually, I kind of got that from Killswitch Engage. They would, you know, they would take song titles and kind of make little jokes out of them. Now, this was kind of nice.
Thank you. All right, so first stream, not too shabby. A few rough patches here, but we'll patch them up. We'll work them out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment, maybe a like. Oh, that's our next song. Just kidding. If you want to hear that song, you got to tune in next week. So, yeah. All right, that's it. Bye. All right, how do you stop it?
All right, so yeah, that's kind of the nice thing about having a live drummer is you can kind of do those endings, you know, where he's like sort of doing the drum fill and I'm doing the pick slide, and so it was cool like being able to do that kind of stuff. And then yeah, you know, just not really sure like what to say and still learning like how to use the backing track. Like, oh yeah, I had to remember to stop it and all that stuff. So so that was one. And this was our second live stream, which I thought was kind of interesting to sort of see how we kind of handled things starting off.
Oh, you had to push again to, yeah, weird. Anyways, okay.
Oh, no, I'm gonna unmute this. Hey, thanks for joining us. So this is a kind of a second live stream test. Unfortunately, our battery died for our camera, so we're using this webcam right now. So this might not be the most flattering angle, but that doesn't change how the music sounds. It still sounds pretty cool, I think. You know, if you like alternative progressive metalcore, you might think so too. Let's go ahead and play a song for you. This is gonna be an instrumental going into our first song. Check it out.
So a couple things there. So yeah, it kind of neat, like, you know, just a problem. Oh, hey, we got Logan in the chat. Hey, Quincy, sorry I'm late. Happy 100th stream. Yep. It'd be funny if you said happy 100th birthday. You know. Yep. I'm 100 years old today, guys. You know. Nope, 100 streams. But yep. Thanks, Logan. So yeah, I thought that was kind of neat because it kind of shows like the. Oh, thanks, Jack. Jack says you were still awesome. I appreciate that. But you see like the technical errors, like, you know, oh no, our camera battery died, so we had to like problem solve, like, well, we got to use this other camera, and we had to set up another mic for the audio and stuff, and so that kind of took a bit. But again, like having that other person, there was kind of like sort of a casual vibe, like, hey, what's going on? You know, like, yep, we're just here doing our thing, you know. Especially like, you know, we were calling them tests starting off because, you know, just so people know, like, yeah, we don't have this down yet, you know, we're still figuring things out. And then yeah, so one thing that's pretty cool, we had this instrumental track that we would use as an intro going into For You, so that's what you're going to hear. So I'm going to let you listen to that. This is actually kind of a cool thing. So here's an intro that we would play.
Hey, if you're watching, thank you so much. Leave a comment saying hello, and this song is for you.
Yeah, so that I still think that's kind of a cool intro. Oh, hey, James. Yep, great start. Gotta go. It's great seeing you improving. Congrats on 100 streams. Much love from Nigeria here. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you tuning in for a little bit. And, yeah, appreciate the support. Hope to see you again, man. Take care. That's right. Yep, Stanley behind the scenes. Yep. Cool. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I thought that intro was pretty cool. Now, Stan, you might have actually heard that intro before, because we were planning to use that for live shows. Basically, for our live shows, we didn't just want to like play the songs. We wanted to try to, you know, like kind of make it more of an experience and have like these sort of exclusive pieces of music that would like lead into certain songs or transition or whatever it might be. So, so that was kind of a fun thing to do. And now when I played I played a live show last year at a skate event, and Stan helped me with that, and I played that intro for that live stream. So so I still use it there, but not really much reason to use it. Sorry, I called it a live stream, live show. So kind of used it for the show. Not really much reason to use it for the streams. I guess I could pull it out every now and then, but I thought that was a pretty cool track, and yeah. Hannah says, just realized you broke 10K subs. How'd I just notice that? LOL, congrats. Thank you. To be honest, I have mixed feelings about my my subs because when I first started YouTube, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. And what I learned was the way you get a lot of YouTube views is by, like, probably the thing that is most typed in YouTube is how to blank. So if you make a video about how to do something, then people are going to be searching for that and they'll find it. So I made a lot of tutorials. I did like guitar lessons for a while, and then I did like music related lessons. And so it's always been a music channel, but it took me a long time to just like realize I don't actually want to be a YouTuber. Like, I want to be a songwriter. And that's, I thought somehow I'd get to do it, but it was just too much to take on at once. Like, doing the YouTube videos was like a full-time gig, I couldn't, like, make a YouTube video and then simultaneously work on a song. It was super hard to do that. So most of my subscribers, unfortunately, I think are from, like, some of those more, like, music tutorials. It's definitely not, like, 10,000 fans, that's for sure, So, so yeah, so I have mixed feelings. So yeah, it's kind of cool, kind of impressive, but I'm not really impressed yet. I think I'm probably going to need like another couple years for that to balance out, for like the next few subscribers to be like true fans of my music and not just people who's like, man, this guy made a good tutorial, I'm going to subscribe to his channel, So, yeah, so that's kind of the deal with that. Stanley says, got a get up again feel. Yeah, it kind of does, like sort of that ending, that like kind of heroic, kind of like, yeah, I know what you mean by that. So, yeah, sort of building up to something. But all right, so we just played For You. Oh, and that was the thing too. Like, again, kind of, that was like a clever bit of dialogue. We would say, I'm Quincy Kane, and this song is for you. And not only is it for you, but that's actually the title of the song. So, yay, so clever,
Thank you. All right, once again, if you're a subscriber, you probably know my name's Quincy Kane Morris. This is Sam back here. Normally we have the camera set up in a more flattering angle where it's like right on Sam, and he's up front, and you can see his muscles as he's drumming and stuff. But right now, yeah, just gotta. Hopefully, you've been working your back, because that's all we got to show off today. So. Let's see if we got anyone watching. Hey, you go. Hey, thank you, Lucas. Thanks for checking out.
Lucas!
Good to see you. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Let me know what your favorite sandwich for lunch is. Yeah, for me, I gotta go with tuna. I actually, I have tuna almost every day on Dave's Killer Wheat Bread. And I actually put either Swiss or provolone cheese, some kind of white cheese melted on it, and then I'll add like lettuce and tomato and some pickle on the bottom. It's a good sandwich. What about yourself?
Well, since I work at a sandwich shop, I am an expert in this category.
You are, that's right. Sam works at Jimmy John's, so this is his area of expertise.
I always prefer it on the salty side with some ham and bacon. So lettuce, no mayonnaise though.
No mayo. What kind of bread?
It's a nice French baguette.
Okay.
On occasion, the wheat slice, 9 grains in there. You can count.
That's right. Yeah.
Count. But yeah, just a nice ham sandwich.
So let me ask you guys, what's your favorite sandwich for lunch? So yeah, real quick, a couple things here. So we had 2 mics going. We had like a chat mic, that I would unmute, and then I had my performance mic. But I had this problem of, that's why you could hear like this weird echo delay thing, because I was speaking into like 2 mics at once, and I didn't realize it. So again, there's like sketchy stuff like that. But yeah, it was kind of fun, having someone else to kind of riff off of, and he would kind of play off of my dialogue, showing off his muscles and stuff, and then we started talking about sandwiches. So yeah, so that's all fun and dandy. But But yeah, leave a comment. What is your favorite sandwich for lunch? I'd be curious. Again, I don't know if you heard my answer, but it's still the same. I love that good tuna fish sandwich with a pickle underneath. I have it on Dave's Killer Wheat Bread, and I melt some provolone or Swiss cheese on top. Lettuce, tomato. That is a good sandwich right there. All right, continuing. Let's see what happens next.
Been practicing for a while, but we're just starting to do streams. What's that? Oh, dang it! I hope you guys can hear me.
So this was after another song.
Kind of close enough to the microphone.
Darn it, I'm so sorry, guys. All right, I've been talking this whole time, and I'm new to this whole streaming thing. We've got a mic here that I try to unmute it so that you can hear us better.
Pierce said he watched your video for hope.
Yeah, so what happened there was we had finished a song, and I forgot to unmute the mic. And so the whole time I'm talking, now I was already kind of close to my mic, so they could hear me. They couldn't really hear Sam. And then Sam's like, hey, the mic's unmuted. So, yeah. Thanks. Adria says, funny, love the humor. Appreciate that. I was muted the whole time, and or the mic was muted. It's like, darn it. And so you could just see my inexperience with, learning how to coordinate everything, just kind of handle it. Now, earlier we had an intro going into For You. This was another intro that we had going into my song Waiting. So, this was kind of cool.
I'm so sorry, guys. All right, I've been talking this whole time.
I rewound it a little bit.
I'm new to this whole streaming thing. We've got a mic here that I try to unmute it so that you can hear us better.
Pierce said he watched your video for hope.
All right, here we go.
Forgot the words. Oh my gosh. I'll be sure to watch the playback and
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Pierce. Appreciate it, guys.
Forgetting the words is a must for becoming famous. Thank you. It's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of a cool intro, starting with the drums, and then the bass comes in, and then the rest of the guitar, and then the intro. So that was kind of cool. But what had happened was I ended up forgetting the words, and someone commented. They were like, "Forgetting the words is a must for becoming famous." So I appreciate that. So, Hannah says, "Cool spider curtains in the background." That's Sam's room. That was his apartment. He had some pretty cool stuff there. Adria says, "Yum, tuna sandwiches are the bomb." Yeah, I love them. Turkey with cream cheese and cranberry sauce. Thanksgiving is around the corner. Yeah, that's what I was. Yep, that's a good one too. Yeah. Man, that's making me hungry. So, but you're right. Thanksgiving's coming. That's a good one for that time. So what happened was, Sam helped me for a bit, and it kind of stinks because we were just getting set up, just getting things figured out. But as you heard earlier, Sam was actually he is a manager at a Jimmy John's, and he just had a lot going on. He was telling me dude, I'm literally I'm getting back from work, and just right when I get home, I'm having to get ready for you to come over and get everything set up. And he was just kind of honest and just said I think I've got too much going on. I don't think I can do this thing. And so so he kind of dismissed himself. So I'm hoping sometime in the future, right now for this, it's probably just going to be me. But, if I ever do get into playing live shows, which right now I'm kind of leaning more towards live streams. Earlier this year, I was planning on trying to get into live shows, but that's been kind of a tough thing to do. And so I'm thinking of sort of putting that on the back burner for now, and then later trying that. But maybe if I get into live shows and I can get a band together, I'd love to get him to play drums for that. Or maybe, when I get a good foothold with this project, maybe I can start another project. I could start a band with him involved or something. But I definitely appreciate Sam and his help and all that. It was nice. But basically, what happened was I had to start from scratch. I had to find a new way to do it. So that's when this was all around the time of the pandemic, and because of that, our church, we couldn't meet in person, so we had to start doing live streams. So the church got faster internet, and this is like a kind of a family church for me. That's not to say that like I own it. I just mean like I've grown up here all my life, you know, and I only live like 5 minutes away from this church. So everyone knows like I work on my projects here. Like that's not like a unusual thing. And so I was like, well, maybe I can stream from the church. You know, Sam had like super fast internet, you know, but my house, I don't think I could live stream from my house. At least not like with this kind of setup. But yeah, so I went to the church, and that's what I do. I come for an evening. The best kind of place I could find was this hallway, so that's why there's always this fountain here. Against the wall, because I'm in a hallway right now. But so this is my first stream by myself. You know, so let's check it out.
All right, we should be live. Quincy Kane Morris here. Not gonna lie, I was just dealing with some technical issues, so I'm a little concerned about this. It's really frustrating when it's working, and then the one day it actually matters, stuff starts messing up on me. But we'll see how this goes. My concern is that the vocals are going to be a little quiet, so we'll see. You'll have to let me know if they are quiet. I might be able to turn them up, but it's not really a volume thing so much as it is like a signaling thing. I think, I don't know, I just got slightly unreliable gear. But anyway, I'm going to hop into this first song, and we'll see how it goes. If you're watching, thanks for joining. Please, say hello in the chat, and let me know your favorite color. The song's called For You.
All right, so a few things like right off the bat. So again, I was like scrambling to get things together before showtime. You know, like I said, I'd be live at, I think I did it at 5:30 at the time, and it was like, man, it's almost 5:30. You know, and I was like, scrambling to get everything done. Didn't even have time to warm up my voice, and so you can kind of hear me like, like the kind of the nervousness in it. And I was still going by Quincy Kane Morris at the time. And you can see just aesthetically the way things have changed. I try to dress up a little more for these streams, so not wearing just like a t-shirt anymore. And then the church got a bit of a makeover, so like the doors painted white now, which I think looks a lot better, And then I try to I kind of borrowed these stage lights and set them up, and just try to have more of a show look, something kind of more aesthetic. So you can even see like just the little window I'm in right now compared to what we're watching. Like that's a good difference right there, definitely an improvement, I'm not going to say it's like I've got an awesome setup now, but it's definitely better than what I started with. Let me ask you guys, what is your favorite color? That's what I asked in the stream. So leave a comment. What is your favorite color? Hannah says, ain't got a favorite sandwich, to be honest. Sometimes I'll just pick up some, is that Publix? I'm not sure what that, bread. I guess it's Publix bread, and throw butter and cheese on it. Other times I just do peanut butter and Nutella. Yep, that's a good combo right there. Nothing wrong with going simple with a sandwich, but some people are sandwich people, some people not so much. Logan's favorite color is red. Me, I kind of have two. Like if I had to pick, I really like black, but if we want to go like more colorful and not like a neutral, black or white color, I'd probably go blue. I like blue. So black and blue is kind of what I like. But colors in the right setting, any color can be really cool. Like I even like pink in the right setting. I think pink and black is a really cool combination. I like purple a lot. Yeah. Adria says every shade of blue. Yep, I can get down with that. Cool. All right, while you're commenting, yep, Logan says red and black. That's a good combo as well. Yeah, while you're commenting your favorite color, let me continue this video here. So if you could hear that, like the audio quality was like not very good either. And I've since learned like how to avoid that, but at the time it was coming through kind of rough.
Whew, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm having some technical issues. Hopefully the signal's coming through now, because at first my vocals might have been a little quiet, and then while I was singing I could hear the mic kind of pick up in my headphones and stuff. Normally I would have like warmed up, but I spent like the past 30 minutes just trying to get this all working. I was like, no, I'm going live and nothing's coming through. Yeah, I was having signaling issues, so hopefully that's been resolved, and hopefully it stays that way. But if the vocals kind of dip in and out, it's just know it's some kind of signaling issue. But hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate that. What was once inseparable has become
this is funny. So you guys, if you know the song, I'm about to scream, but I saw somebody.
And now it's just me.
Here's where I'm supposed to scream.
Yep, just getting going, and I looked a little distracted. I knew there'd be some people here this evening, but I was expecting them to be down in the fellowship hall, and I think I think a couple people showed up. So it's like, oh hey, yeah, yep, there we go. Hey, how's it going? But you know, we'll keep the show on the road. Yeah. So
That was like, again, one of my first streams, and if you guys have heard that song, that's like the breakdown. That's where I go into those those heavy growls. And sure enough, the one thing I had to kind of learn how to work around, if you're going to be at the church, sometimes people are going to show up, and so that's probably why I kind of started going for a later time. And thankfully, every now and then some people kind of show up, but not too much. But they just had to show up like right as the breakdown came. So that's why I was looking over and I was like, oh man, I hope they're not going to be here when I start screaming. And so and now it's just me. I thought I would kind of like try to whisper it. I thought that might sound cool, like, and now it's just me, It kind of worked, but then, yeah, I could not go into my growls. I was not going to do that while someone was present. So let's catch up with these colors here. Yep, Stan says he likes green. We got red and black from Logan. And Adria commented, hey, black and blue is an old butt rock band. I'll have to check them out. Yep. And Stan says, love it. Yeah, thanks. So I thought that was kind of a funny moment. Let's see what happens next.
Those of you who don't know, you might remember that I've streamed some in the past, and that was with Sam. Sam's been pretty busy lately. We had a much more elaborate setup. I've got something a little more, it works, so not nearly as elaborate as what Sam and I had. But yeah, it was kind of a good opportunity for me to figure out how to set something up. And the idea, I do plan to do this weekly. I am planning to stream every Thursday. I don't know if 5:30 is always going to be the time. I might move it back to 6, might move it up. Not sure yet, but, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I don't know if you guys prefer just a long stream and just hang out as long as it feels good, or if something kind of short and snappy and just, I'm not really sure yet. So, but we'll figure it out as it goes. Man, if anything, I've learned that I'm a little out of shape when it comes to, like, performance stuff. It's not like I sing like this every day and stuff. So, like, I feel great at first, and then, like, doing those few extra songs, maybe I'm not quite ready for that yet. But that's all right, Thanks again so much for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. And I'm going to be back next Thursday. That's the plan. So, y'all have a good rest of the evening or morning or night or whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Take care.
All right, yeah, so what had happened there, you could I was commenting on, like, my stamina. Like, I don't sing like that all the time, and that's definitely something I've had to learn, like, how to kind of preserve my voice, and, yeah, just kind of, like, and learning, like, proper vocal technique and that kind of thing. So I've definitely gotten a lot better at that. Every now and then, usually if I'm just dealing with, like, sickness, like a cold or something, that's when it really has an effect on, like, my ability to hang in there. But for the most part, like, when I'm feeling well, I can manage these songs all right. So I've definitely come a long way in that regard. So that was nice. And then, yeah, like, just kind of learning, like, the technicality of setting everything up and not even sure, like, when or how I was going to stream. And now, we're getting close to 2 hours right now. So I've definitely done some longer streams since then. But, very cool. And, shout out to Stan. He's been there pretty much since, since the beginning. He was watching me and Sam, apparently. And I know Stan was at that first stream, so I appreciate that. Cool. So I'm actually going to pause the video there. There's only like 2 minutes left, but the last segment is how I met Daniel. So I kind of want to save that. Hopefully Daniel will show up. I hope he pops in. If not, we'll check that out. But, you guys, most of you guys, Daniel. He's been in the chat quite a bit. And he's been super supportive. I definitely appreciate him. So I hope he shows up. Yeah, so I'm going to save that last clip just in case he comes. So as of right now, let me go ahead and I'll play another song for you guys. And yeah, and then we'll I'm going to play a song for you guys, and then I'm going to share. This was something Adria had suggested. I'm going to share some songs that were very influential to me in like my songwriting as an artist and such. Let's see here. All right, I think I'm going to go into, let's see. Let me figure out what song I'm going to do next. Jack says, favorite sandwich? I don't really have one. Favorite color is blue. I got to go now, but great stream, Quincy. Well, Jack, again, thank you for your support. I appreciate you, people like you who just continue to show up, and I appreciate your encouragement. It means a lot. I can never say thank you enough. I just hope I can bring, some more songs for you. So thank you so much. And thank you, Stan. Yep, Stan says, yes, sir. So definitely appreciate that. I'm going to go into, I'm going to go into a song. Let's see which one. And I'm going to talk about the meaning first. To be honest, I have a lot of songs with kind of a similar meaning to a place to call home. So if this sounds kind of familiar, I'm going to do Waiting. So Waiting, the meaning of this song, the lyrics, I'll be honest. I'm actually I'm planning to release the song soon, and I might tweak the verses. I'm not totally sure yet, but I think the lyrics are a bit abstract. I'd like them to be a bit more forward, I guess, But Waiting is just a song about seeing other people kind of succeed and just waiting for my turn, like waiting for my chance. At my age, I probably wrote this song, in my early mid-20s, something like that. And a lot of my friends were advancing in their own careers and kind of making something out of their lives. And I just, I was still pursuing the same dream, and I just felt like I wasn't making any progress. And it's kind of tough, you see everyone else, it just seems like they're getting somewhere, and I just feel like I'm stuck in the same place. So I'm just like waiting for my turn. Like when am I going to get my break? When is something going to work out for me? And it's a little bit of a conversation with God, and just kind of expressing that frustration. And there's a little bit of waiting involved, that's for sure. But I've certainly learned, like I definitely learned this when I was younger, that you have to take action. You can't just, like, literally when I was younger, I kind of probably earlier than when I wrote this song, but there was a time when I was thinking like somebody would find me, all I had to do was just like make my videos and post them, and then someone would come to me and be like, "Hey kid, you got real spunk, I'm gonna make you famous," or something, But I've since learned that, like, no, you've gotta do a lot of it on your own. You've got to go out there and you've kind of got to build your audience, and that's when you start, maybe getting recognized by someone who can take you even further. But there's a lot you have to kind of do on your own, and so, that was just me expressing kind of that frustration. So I think the first verse says, and real quick, Hannah says, "Wow, I am completely late, LOL." So I don't know if you mean late as in you're just behind, or if you just mean like, because you were here earlier, and I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. So, but either way, I appreciate you being here. Better late than never. Let's see. So the first verse. So this is where we are. Where else have we been? Circling this room round and round again. So that's kind of me talking to God. This is where we are. But nothing has changed. Where else have we been? Circling this room round and round again. Just talking about being stuck in my bedroom. I do these projects from my bedroom. Aside from my streams, but. Just I've lived a lot of my life in my bedroom, and I can't wait to get out of it, so that's kind of what it's about. Circling this room round and round again. Look into my eyes, see if there's a change. Who I tried to be is not who I became. So just kind of expressing, like, has anything changed? Have I actually grown? Have I learned? I feel like what I set out to do just has not happened, Everyone is gone. They found a way out. I will find it too any second now. So it's kind of talking about everyone else finding their own way. They found a way out of the room. They found a way to succeed. And then I'm kind of, at first, I'm sort of optimistic, like, I will find it too any second now. Now, here's the interesting thing about that song. you guys have heard it before, but there's actually another vocal part that you haven't heard yet. So when the chorus kicks in, there's actually a harsh vocal that screams and says, always meant for something greater. But it crosses over with the other vocal part, so I can't do both at the same time. So when I had Sam, he would do the screaming parts, and then I would do the singing parts. But since I don't have him anymore, and since I haven't recorded vocals for that part, that's probably something I could have done. I could have just recorded some demo vocals for it. I haven't had it playing, but when I release the song, you'll get to hear that. So that'll be kind of a fresh little new thing. I'm hoping you guys will like it, because some of you might be used to just hearing the old version, but I think it sounds cool. But the chorus, there's a screaming part that says, always meant for something greater, and then I say, but when you find me, I'm still waiting. So it's just, again, talking about that potential, but, here I am, nothing's really changed, so it seems. And then the second verse, so it seems so long ago since we first began. Now that it's today, maybe this will end. So it's just hoping that, I've been at this so long, when is something going to change? Maybe today something will change. Maybe this will end. Seeing no results has got me feeling down, but I'll be up again any minute now. And that's the thing, too. Each lyric, first it says any second now, then it says any minute now. It's just like, talking about how it's frustrating not getting anywhere, but I'll be back up. I'll keep going, any minute now. Then the chorus kicks back in, always meant for something greater, but when you find me, I'm still waiting. And then screaming again, saying, full of promise and potential, but when you find me, I'm still waiting. And then the bridge comes in, I'm still waiting, been so patient, time is wasting, and I can't take it. So this is me kind of finally breaking and sort of expressing some of that frustration, man, how much longer? I've been waiting. Time's wasting, something's got to happen, just that sense of urgency of trying to get somewhere. And then I scream, please give me something. And again, kind of talking to God a little bit. Please just give me something. I'll take anything. Just don't leave me. Don't leave me in this room. And then the guitar solo, and then after that, before going into the final chorus, I scream, any day now. So it's kind of progressed, any second now, any minute now, any day now, and then the chorus one last time, but when you find me, I'm still waiting. And so, so it's just kind of that song of just kind of being stuck in the same place and feeling like you're not really getting anywhere. So, I kind of have a few songs about that. Certainly felt that way. Hannah says, no, I was AFK, I gotcha, and came back to a completely different conversation. I gotcha, yeah. So, well, you might have to tune back in and see what that is. But anyway, I'll go ahead and play this song for you. And I'm planning to release this one soon, because again, the song is finished, so it shouldn't be hard to release. But here we go. This one's called Waiting. Yeah, and Stan comments, he actually remembers Sam doing those harsh vocals. Yeah, Sam would do the screaming parts, and then I would do the singing parts in that chorus. So, yep. So Stan kind of knows what to expect. But I am planning to release that song fairly soon. Shouldn't once I start actually recording it, it shouldn't take that long to produce. So, and you've probably heard this joke before. Here's the one you've been waiting for. This one's called Waiting. Thank you. Again, that one was called Waiting. And hoping to release that one pretty soon. So, maybe in the next few months or so. Keep an eye out for that one. Or I guess an ear out, whatever. Well, there will be a video with it, so eyes will work. All right, let's catch up with the chat here. Anyone just tuning in, don't be shy. Please say hello. Again, we're celebrating 100 streams, so I really appreciate all of you who have been, super supportive in that. So, yes, thank you so much. Hey, we got Development of a Void. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, he says, props on the 100. Thank you so much. You the man, Kane. Well, hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning in and the kind words. Adria says, very nice. Love it. Can't wait. Well, thank you. Well, you'll just have to keep waiting for that one. So, but no, but yeah, that'll be coming soon. Actually, I'd be kind of curious. I've got 2 songs I'm planning on doing next. I've kind of told you guys this. This week I shot a video for the acoustic version of Love's Not Fair. So that's the next thing I'm going to release. I'm hoping to release that in a couple weeks here. The video's done. The video is shot. I just got to finish editing it and do a few things. So yeah, so that should be coming out soon. And I'm actually really excited about the video. Like, I worked really hard on it, and I think it came out, like, really cool looking. It's going to be black and white, so that'll be kind of neat. But after that, the next 2 songs I'm going to do are Brothers to the End and Waiting. So I'd be kind of curious. Do you guys have a preference in which one I do first? Would y'all rather me do Waiting or Brothers to the End? I was actually kind of leaning towards Brothers to the End, but if y'all really want Waiting, I might do that one next. Either way, I'm going to do both. And I'm going to do them back to back. But if you guys have a preference of which one you'd like me to do to release sooner, I'd be all ears for that. So. All right. So continuing. So one thing. This was actually a suggestion from Adria about some songs that had influenced me in my music. So I hope you guys find this interesting. I'm going to grab my guitar, and I just kind of wanted to, share a few songs that were pretty pivotal in my style and in my songwriting and all that. So Adria had asked. What was the first song that I learned? And to be honest, I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard to remember. Because the way I learned guitar, my friend taught me this technique called a power chord. Looks like this. And what's cool about that chord is, like a lot of other guitar chords, they're different shapes, and so they're kind of tough to remember when you're first learning. But the nice thing about a power chord is it's just one shape, and you can play it, almost anywhere, And when I first learned guitar, I would try playing like these AC/DC songs or these Sum 41 songs that I'd heard from like the Tony Hawk video games and stuff. And I'd go to show him, and he would tell me, "No, you're playing it wrong. That's not how it goes." And I kind of just got tired of him always telling me I was doing it wrong. So I came up with this great idea. I was like, "Hey, I know. I'll just make up my own songs, so that way he can't tell me I'm playing guitar wrong." And so I took that technique, and at first, when I first learned it, I didn't even have the pinky. I would just do these 2 fingers. And I would write songs like that. And I just had fun experimenting with like the different shapes, like going from here to here versus going from here to here. You hear something different. So, Hannah says power chords are the only thing that make me feel like I'm actually good at guitar. Well, hey, there's plenty of great songs written with just power chords. So, you can do that. And thanks. Yeah, Development says, nice logic, Kane. Appreciate that. And we got a vote for Brothers by Development, so appreciate that. Yeah, but good to hear. Both of them are cool though, so thank you. Yep. Stan says black and white and acoustic. Yep. That's what's coming out. So looking forward to that. But yeah. that was kind of my logic. I'll just take these power chords and yeah, there's a lot of great songs written with power chords, and so that's what I was doing. And so let's see here. Oh, we got someone on Twitch. Who is? 1 second. Can't read. Pure distilled water. Appreciate you tuning in. Can I play Rain by Trivium? I'm afraid I don't know any Trivium songs, so sorry about that. But what I'm sharing right now are some of the key songs that kind of influenced my style. And so I started with just power chords and just kind of writing my own songs, like just kind of making up, just coming up with different patterns and making up my own songs. Do you play guitar? Pure distilled water? I'd be curious. And is there a name you'd like me to call you, or do you just want me to keep referring to you as water? So I can do whichever you prefer. But yeah, so one of the first kind of songs that I think back to, I would play the Tony Hawk video games, and there was this song by a band called CKY called 96 Quite Bitter Beings. Now at the time, I didn't know how to play it. I can play it now. It sounded something like this. It was like Now, I couldn't play that at the time, but when I heard that, I was like, man, that sounds cool. I want to write something like that. And that was kind of my motivation for guitar playing, was I would just hear something I liked, and instead of learning how to play the song, I would just try my best to imitate it. So I wrote this, and again, this was back when I was first learning guitar, and I wrote this. This was on an acoustic guitar, by the way, but so you can hear the similarities, but this is what I wrote. I wrote... So that was as far back as I can remember. It probably wasn't the first one. That was one of the first songs I wrote, Now keep in mind, I did have a background in piano, so if you're thinking there are a lot of notes there, so it's what the heck? You wrote that as a beginner? I did have a music background in piano, so I wasn't, even though I was new to guitar, I wasn't totally, oblivious to, rhythm and timing and melody and that kind of thing. So, yep, 1 second, catching up with the chat here. I mostly play drums, but I play guitar sometimes too. That's cool. No, it's nice to have some drummers. We got a lot of guitarists here, so it's so cool to have a drummer in the chat. What kind of drum set do you play? Development says that CKY song kicks. I remember that from the game too. Yep. Hey, we got Daniel in the chat. Good evening. Congratulations on your 100th episode. Yeah, thank you. Quincy, unfortunately, I am working tonight, so can only stop for a little bit. Well, real quick, while you're here, I was talking about some songs. But let me show you one thing. Hopefully you got time to see this. Let me bring that video back up. So before you were here, Daniel, we were reacting to this. I made this video. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see me. There I am. I had made this little video with just some highlights from early streams. But this is the part. This is actually how I met Daniel. So the way this worked... 1 second, let me find... Okay, so I didn't get this set up to show you guys, but I had done a stream. It was probably my 5th or 6th stream, something like that. And Daniel left a comment on it. I didn't know who he was at the time, but he just commented. He said, let's start again next time, question mark, just asking if I would play Let's Start Again. That's a song of mine. Now, that's an old song of mine. I replied to him, hey, I appreciate the request. Unfortunately, that's more of a pop-punk song, and I'm currently trying to promote myself as an alternative progressive metalcore artist. It's funny that I used that title. I was trying to merge together all my influences, but probably alternative metal's probably the best, or metalcore is probably the best to describe. But I was trying to blend them together. But I said, I do hope someday in the future to have a side project with punk rock, in which case I will certainly revitalize Let's Start Again. And Daniel replied, gotcha, no problem, thank you. But it's funny, like he said that, and then I kind of walked away, and I was thinking, what am I doing? You know, some guy on the internet is requesting one of my songs. Like, who cares if it's not the same genre? You know, that's like I appreciate that so much that somebody just likes one of my songs and wants to hear me perform it. So I came back. I was like, hey, wait, you know what? I changed my mind. I really appreciate you requesting a song, even if it is an old one. I'll have a backing track prepared, and if I see you at the next stream, I'll do the song just for you. And he replied, sweet, I may be working, but I look forward to seeing it on the stream. Thanks. So that was the condition. So here's a clip. This was me streaming, and again, this is going to look different. This was like, back almost a couple years ago. But yeah, here we go. So here's the clip. Question for you. Who is your favorite drummer? Gar Samuelson, I think that's the name, or Gur. This is Daniel replying, so his favorite drummer is the drummer from Megadeth. For Megadeth, yeah. By the way, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I don't know if it's Leonadopi, or if that's just a username and you have an actual name. If you have an actual name that's different than that, please let me know. But hey, thank you for showing up. I've actually got a song for you. Daniel spelled backwards, I see that. Awesome. So I don't know if that means your name is Daniel or what, but if it is Daniel, that's what I'll call you. Is that correct? But I appreciate you showing up because I got a song for you. Yeah, I really appreciate the comment you left a while back. He'd commented if I could do a song of mine called "Let's Start Again." When I originally recorded that song, that was back around 2014. And that's when I was kind of still figuring out, like, what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I wanted to do something with music, but I was still trying to figure out, like, what direction to go. And so I was kind of learning my recording skills by just recording different genres of music. So it's more of a kind of punk rock, alternative pop punk rock song kind of thing. And so originally I wasn't going to do it, but I thought it was cool that they requested it. So I went ahead and threw together a backing track. So I'm going to give this one a shot. So we'll see how it goes. This one is called Let's Start Again. You can hear like the audio is not even coming through that good. It's kind of funny. Like, I'm surprised you stuck around because like my performance was kind of rough. See if you and I can make it right. Let's start again. Thank you. I really hope my guitar was coming through. But yeah. Anyway, certainly appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. My pleasure. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, so that's the end of the video. But yeah, I thought that was kind of a neat interaction. It's so funny, and like I had no clue. Like I think it's just weird how life and like the internet's like that. Just some random guy commenting on my video showed up, and here we are, like almost 2 years later, and we've kind of. We've gotten to know each other better. I consider you a friend, even though we haven't, met in person. But again, part of the reason I'm even here, at 100 episodes is because of you, Daniel. So, like, I really appreciate you. And you asked, have I played it? I was planning to play it tonight for you. Do you have time for me to play it? Because I will. And yes, you're right. Development says you've come a long way. Yeah, you can see a lot has changed. And I like Hannah's comment, quoting me, if you have an actual name. Yeah, that's me kind of learning how to, how to speak with the chat and stuff. But yeah, Daniel, I have not played that song yet. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to, if you got time for a song, I was going to play that song just for you. So I actually wanted to ask you, how did you even come across that song? How'd you come across my channel and that song? I may have asked you that before, but I can't quite remember how that came to be. But yeah, this is an older song of mine, but I still pull it out from time to time to play it for Daniel. So I mean, I like it. It's just a little bit different of a genre. So I think I'm going to go into the song. I do have time. Give me 5 minutes to go heat up some food. All right. So do you need me? All right. I'll give you 5 minutes, and then I'll play that song real quick. Just for you. So yep, got some hello. So thank you so much, Daniel. Appreciate that. And let's see, just kind of catching up with anything else in the chat. Yep, cool. Love to hear it. I believe I first heard that song after going to your band camp. Interesting. Now, do you remember how like how'd you even find my channel to begin with, and what made you like, oh, let me check out this guy's Bandcamp? You know, I'd be kind of curious about that if you remember, you know. And definitely want to give you a chance to heat up some food. So you know, you can do that first if you want to then answer later. Yeah, but I was talking about some songs that I had written, but yeah, that CKY song kind of, you know, sort of influenced me in my first songwriting, and then like one of the first. Let's see. You know, I would write a lot of other songs like that. Like another chord progression I would write was. It's funny. This one sounds a lot like Green Day, but I actually hadn't heard any Green Day at this time. But. Something like that. So that was like one of my early songs. And then I remember Dad taught me how to play Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. That's when I started kind of learning more chords. Of course, sounds better on a clean tone or an acoustic guitar. But, you know, I started learning like more standard chords, you know, rather than the power chords. He also taught me this great like little jazz piece. This So that kind of introduced me to like new chords and stuff. Then someone introduced me to drop tuning. Which I fell in love with. And it was funny. I remember, again, I lived with my family, and we would just leave the acoustic guitars on the couch. And, we would grab them to play them. So I would tune to drop tuning, and I'd forget to tune it back. So, I'd be in the room. My brother would pick up the guitar and start playing, and, the chords would sound awful because it was in the wrong tuning. And he'd just look over at me and go, like give me this look as he was tuning it back up. And I was like, hey, sorry, that's how I like to play it. So. But Adria, this is when I was, getting into Chevelle and, learning about drop tuning. I remember learning Family System. So, that was my introduction to drop tuning. And, that definitely had a big influence on my playing. All right. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Oh, sorry, just catching up with the chat. That's great memory, too. Well, thanks. Yeah. Well, some of these songs I still listen to or play, if you mean remembering how to play them. I'm trying my best to remember, like, the key songs that actually had some influence on my playing and stuff. But once I got into drop tuning, I remember my brother-in-law actually taught me this song that he wrote. It was called Take This Seed, and it goes... which I don't think he was my brother-in-law at the time, actually. So, but what that is, it's drop tuning, but it has these extended chords. You use that finger to add that 9. And I love the way that sounds. You can take chords like... and add that 9 to it. And it sounds cool. It just, to me, it added a lot more like emotion to those simple power chords. And so I would add those 9 chords to everything I did. I still use that a lot today. Another big influence on that, there was a band called Pillar, and they put out an EP. It was some kind of, I can't remember what it was called. It might have been called the Stripped Down EP, you know, but they did like an acoustic version, and they had this song called Further. It was in drop tuning, but the chorus went.
I'm further from myself when I'm next to you, when I run to you.
So yeah, just taking those simple power chords and adding that 9 to them, just, you know, added this like, that was a big influence on like, man, I just love that mood. I just love that feeling, you know. Sorry, I'm trying to get my tuning right. Cool, should be fine. Yeah, so those were, you know, big introductions to drop tuning. Let's see here. Good evening. Hope y'all are doing well. But yeah, Daniel, if you're ready, I'll go ahead and I'll dive into that song, and we'll go into it. What do you mean by that, Hannah? Hannah says your Bills song, your BIL's song. I don't know if you're referring to a band or an artist there. Be curious. Are you serious? Adria says, nice. I get to see Chevelle tomorrow night. Yay. Man, that is sick. That is so cool. Had you ever seen him in concert before, or would this be your first time going? I would love to see Chevelle live. I mean, that'd be so sick. So, man, have fun, you know, enjoy the show, but, you know, maybe get a few little pictures and stuff. So, yeah. Brother-in-law, I got you. Okay, so, your brother-in-law's song, that's right. Yep. At the time, I don't think he was my brother-in-law yet. You know, I think he was just a friend of my sister's. You know, they might have been dating or something, but definitely, he's, you know, been incredible. He's taught me so much about guitar, music, about recording, about video, a lot of what I do. You know, he even taught me how to ollie, you know, for skateboarding, and I love skateboarding. So, I don't know. He just taught so much to me. I appreciate him so much. So. Second time getting to see them. Awesome. Yep. Excited about that, Adrian. Yep. Man, that's going to be awesome. Looking forward to that for you. All right, here we go. Daniel, this one goes out to you. This is my song, Get Up Again. So, 1 second. Let me just get set up real quick. All right, here we go. Again, 100 episodes, you know, I would not have gotten this far if it wasn't for you guys and your support. And so, you know, thank you so much. Thanks for sticking with me. Daniel, this one goes out to you. This is Let's Start Again. Yeah, I think I said the wrong title at first. I kind of caught that as I was saying it again. What did I say? Like, let's get up again or something? I like merged those two songs together. Here we go.
Back just one more time and try to think I can make it right. I don't understand, why do we always have to fight? It's a cycle we go through, and you and I are too afraid to lose. Wouldn't it be so hard if you tell me the truth. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend, and I watched as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. And do you think you could love me too? So let's start again. Let's start again. Let's take it back just one more time and try to figure out the reason why. Do you feel the same, or are you messing with my mind? I can never understand what's going on inside your head. You could run away, or you could talk to me instead. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend, and I watched as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart, and I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. And do you think that you could love me too? So let's start again. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend, and I watched as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. And do you think that you could love me too? So let's start again. Let's start again.
Thank you. Yep, there you go, Daniel. Appreciate you, man. Yep, that's Let's Start Again. And actually, I know you got here later, but I have been explaining the meaning of the lyrics for my songs. So the meaning for that one, if you got time, I can say it, but otherwise, I just appreciate you stopping by for as long as you can. But it's a love song. Obviously, it's I think it was a girl at the time. I'm not going to tell my whole love story right now, but I guess the thing I've really only had like two key relationships in my life. I'll go into that some other time, but there was one girl that I kind of held on to for a long time, and she was very impactful and in kind of shaping me and who I became. But I did get to this point where like all my friends were in relationships, and this girl that I used to have a relationship with was with somebody else, and I just felt so alone, and so I just needed like somebody to be with, or at least I thought that's what I needed. There was this girl that I knew who was kind of like an acquaintance, but like we weren't really close friends. But I was like, well, maybe she could be my friend, and so I started getting to know her, and sure enough, we had a lot in common. We started becoming really good friends. And I started kind of getting these feelings, but I was like, well, I've experienced this in the past where sometimes you kind of think you like somebody, but it's really just the excitement of a new friend. And so I kind of let some time pass, but the feelings only got stronger. So I was like, okay, I guess I can finally let go of this other girl that I've held on to for so long and move on. And so I was determined. I was like, I'm not going to make the same mistakes that I did with the other girl, and I did not. I made new mistakes. But probably my biggest problem was, like we got to the point where we developed a good friendship, and I wish I had kind of just like well, actually, I'm fine with how things worked out, but, I should have just chilled and let things play out, but it wasn't enough. I needed more, and I was just a little clingy. And I remember talking to her about it. I remember like realizing like, she seemed like when she seemed like she wasn't really giving me her attention or whatever. Like her body language was kind of pointing a different direction whenever I was around her and stuff. And so I kind of sensed that something wasn't quite right, and I reached out to her and I was like, "Hey, can we talk sometime?" And I actually went out of my way to see her just to be like, "I feel like, is there something wrong here?" And she was like, "No, it's not just you. Yeah, there is something wrong." And kind of discussed it, and so we sort of worked out a friendship. So that was actually a big moment for me, just learning how to like confront an issue. I used to just like talk to my friends about it instead of talking to the person, that I had the issue with. And so that was like a big step for me. So I did my part, like I went up, talked, and we kind of worked things out. It was great. And then shortly after that, I unfortunately at this time I had made this bad habit of I would just tag all my friends in Facebook posts. I'd see something funny and be like, "Oh, tag all my friends in this." And I kind of went through that phase, and I would tag her in some, and I didn't tag her in all of them, but I would tag her in a lot of them. And then one day I went to tag her, and her name wouldn't show up, and I was like, "Huh, that's odd." And I went to message her. I went to see what was going on, and I couldn't find her Facebook page. And so I messaged a mutual friend of ours, and I was like, "Hey, so and so's page isn't up. Did she delete her account or something?" And my friend had to inform me that I had been blocked. And I was like, blocked? Like only creeps and weirdos get blocked. And seriously, it was like a bucket of water just got dumped on me, and like I woke up. It was like all this time that I was sort of hypnotized by her. I was like just not really thinking clearly, and that was the first time like I'd kind of like sobered up to like what I'd become. I was like, oh my gosh, but I did have this realization. I was like, she could have talked to me about it. She could have said like, "Hey, you mind not tagging me in so much stuff?" But I realized like for her, it was just easier to cut me off. It was easier just to block me and not confront me about it. And so I kind of realized like, hey, I did everything I could. I tried to work out our friendship, and she didn't have the same willingness to do that. And so that was kind of a growth for me, just kind of a lesson and sort of learning. Like sometimes, you can only control yourself. You can't control how other people feel, what actions they take, what they do. You can only control yourself and what you do. And there's kind of a certain peace, like even when things don't work out the way you want them to, there's a certain peace in knowing that, like that you did all that you could do. And that's it. There's nothing to stress about. It's not like, oh, I could have done more. It's like, no, you did everything you could. So there's a certain like kind of peace that comes with that. Now, in case you're curious, I saw her like a couple years ago or something at a like friend party gathering kind of thing, and so we're on good terms now. But yeah, and truth be told, like as far as relationship goes, we're probably better off as friends anyway. So it's probably good that things turned out the way they did. But yeah, that's what that song is about. It's about just kind of a conflicting relationship of not quite playing out, not kind of happening, and yeah, so that's what that's sort of related to a little bit. But yeah, there you go. But Daniel, appreciate you tuning in, and yeah, I hope the rest of your shift at work goes well. I mean, however long you can hang out, definitely hang out. But when you do got to get back to it, I am hoping that you have a great shift. And yeah, appreciate that. Yep, Daniel says, great job. Thank you, Quincy. Again, congratulations on your 100th stream. Yep, appreciate that. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Well, yeah, for sure. It's, I mean, that's kind of, that's sort of the point of songs, is, just kind of finding a way to express those complicated emotions. I think that's what's so great about art in general, is that it like sometimes emotions are so hard to understand and so hard to, just hard to explain. And then so when someone can write a song or make a movie or take a picture that just, that just gets it, and it's like, yes, that's it. That just perfectly describes what I've been through and what I've felt. And I've certainly had to learn like how to get better at the craft and how to better express that. But yeah, there's always some kind of story or motivation behind a lot of these. And, I've written lots of songs. Again, that other girl, there's a lot of songs. I've written a lot of songs about her. And the funny thing is, even though that's like way in the past, I think I still got a few more songs to come out of that whole story. Because again, that was pretty big in shaping who I am. So we'll go. Daniel says, thank you, Quincy. I do have to get back to work, but we'll definitely check out the rest of the stream later. Hope to catch you again soon. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate you, brother. Hope work goes well. And yeah, I'll see you again later, man. All right, man, we are getting kind of late here. Give me a thumbs up for everyone who's still out there. I'd just be curious who all is still in the chat. Thank you. Hope y'all have a good night. You too, Daniel. Have a good night. Yeah, give me a thumbs up just to let me know who all's out there, and I'll probably try to wrap this up. I might try to see if I can speed run through these remaining songs that had some impact on me. So, like I said, I got into drop tuning, and that was pretty big, and gradually started learning more techniques with drop tuning. Let me see something real quick. Okay, we're good there. Yep, thumbs up from Hannah, Adria, Stan. All right, nice to have you all there. Okay, last few songs, and then I think I'm going to perform one more song for you, and then I think we'll put a wrap on this. But I think it's gone well. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I mean, it's kind of weird, like I'm talking so much about, me and what I've done, but hopefully you guys are enjoying that. But a few more songs that were pretty impactful. After like getting into hard rock like Chevelle and stuff, eventually I was introduced to metalcore. Me and my friends, we started getting into screamo and started getting into metalcore. And one of the biggest bands, Killswitch Engage, big influence on me. And it's kind of funny. I remember the song My Curse. It was on Guitar Hero 3. And I remember actually learning the song from Guitar Hero 3. I would go to the practice mode and slow down the song, and I'd play on the plastic guitar, learn the first few notes, put it down, pick up my real guitar, and then figure out how to play it. And then I found out that Adam D from Killswitch Engage, the guitarist, he had a video on YouTube with a tutorial showing how to play that song. I was like, darn it, could have just watched the tutorial. But it was kind of cool seeing like, wow, I was really close though. Like I got a lot of the parts right, so that was pretty cool. But that song, My Curse. So at the time, like playing drop tuning, I was playing down here a lot. I was kind of adding those extensions. But what Killswitch Engage taught me, they taught me how to add like more like lead parts, like melody, like that kind of stuff, learning how to add that to music. Kind of like writing actual like riffs, like and they've got this great like song structure where like during the verses they'd have like their heavy like that's where they do the screams of
I watched you walk away, hopeless with nothing to say.
Those were awful screams right there just now, but you know what I mean. Like they would do like the screaming in the verses, and then they'd get to these like beautiful singy choruses.
There is love burning to find you. Will you wait for me?
And they would take those power chords, but they would add these extensions to them, like, and just make these like beautiful chords. That's kind of what it taught me too. Like you can take like a really pretty chord, and then when you add that like metal distortion, it just has this really powerful emotion to it, and that like, that's very much influence. That's what I want. Like I want my songs to have that heart and that emotion behind them, but they've got that drive that, that you get from metal, that heaviness from the tone. After that, I learned, I remember here's kind of an interesting thing. And also, as I started learning this stuff, it started influencing like certain songs. So My Curse was definitely pretty big in influence. Like that chord right there, that's the same chord I use in For You.
Well, ignore my warning. Just know that I'm sorry for you.
So you can kind of see that. And then also like the riff at the beginning. Kind of has like that heavy riff in the verses and then goes to that, those singy choruses and stuff. So, yeah, definitely some influence there. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I was gonna say, like, even in a place to call home. So those chords that I used earlier, you know, that 9.
Place to call home.
Yeah, so I use those kinds of chords all the time that I'd learned in these songs. Then I learned this tapping exercise. It goes like this. Learned this from a YouTube video. Well, I thought, you know, you could speed that up. Well, I thought I would add a chord progression to that, so I listened to the first one, and it sounded like that chord. Da-da-da-dum. And then the next one, da-da-da-dum. Sounded like that, and then the next one. So I came up with this chord progression, this. And then, of course, I added my 9 to it. And added some like notes to it, you know. And then I tweaked that exercise. Instead of staying there, I would go up. So I actually, if you recognize now, that's Hard Goodbyes. So I actually wrote Hard Goodbyes from a exercise I learned on YouTube. So I got to give credit there. You know, I guess I kind of stole that exercise, but there you go. And then later, you know, that was originally the only part of the solo, but as I got better at guitar, I revisited it and added some new techniques. Then I started discovering progressive metal. I discovered a band called Between the Buried and Me, which is, you know, super, I mean, they're great, you know, they're like one of my favorites. And what was great about progressive metal, like, I had no idea how people wrote stuff like that on guitar. Thanks for the fire development. And let's see here. Adria says, when I first started playing, I immediately drop tuned. It was fun. Inspired me to play more because the low sound is amazing. It's an injustice to have heavy strings and can't go back to good. And can't go back too good. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely satisfying. Like I love drop tuning as well. But yeah, I started discovering progressive metal, and Between the Buried and Me, they were playing stuff like this, like. Oops, man, I'm forgetting how to play that riff. All right, 1 second. And I just had I had no idea how people wrote that. Like the way it uses the whole guitar. Again, like me, I was always just playing chords and I was playing like down here. But the way they could write like a riff that it wasn't a guitar solo, you know, it just had like all these notes in it and it used the whole guitar. I was like, man, that is so cool. How do they do that? You know, so I kind of set out on a quest to sort of learn, like, how do you write something like that? That was always again, it goes back to the very beginning, that first song I wrote. I want to write something like that. That's always been my motivation. Like, how do you write something like that? It wasn't so much that I wanted to learn the song. I just wanted to write my own stuff like that, you know? And it's kind of funny. Part of the reason I learned that song was so that I could break it down and analyze it and figure out, like, oh, this is what they're doing, you know, just try to understand it better. And some of you guys might, I don't know if you made this connection, but so that song I just played, you know, my first impression of progressive metal was, oh, it's like happy metal, you know, kind of. So that kind of inspired me to write Brothers to the End. Might kind of notice some of the similarities. So that was like the first like progressive metal song I ever wrote, and it does progress. You know, it kind of like it changes. You know, like the end starts off kind of with that happy sound, but by the end of it, it gets kind of dark and stuff. So yeah, that song was totally inspired by Between the Buried and Me, and it's kind of funny because like you know the first few songs I write, whenever they're directly inspired by another artist, it sounds a lot like them. You know, it's like it's. You know, it's like, wow, that sounds just like Killswitch Engage, or wow, that sounds just like Between the Buried and Me. But what's kind of cool is like over time, eventually, you know, you write your own stuff and you're just kind of pulling from all these influences and you come up with something truly unique. You know, again, that's why I think like songs like Love's Not Fair that I wrote, it's like, I can't really tie that to you know a direct influence. You know, it's kind of just a combination of several artists that I like, and so that's kind of what I'm looking forward to is writing more songs like that. That it's like this is my sound. You know, this isn't just me. You know, being inspired by Killswitch or Between the Buried and Me or Chevelle. You know, this is what I sound like. So I'm kind of excited about that. Got just a few more for you. Let's see. Yeah, after Prequel, okay, then I discovered a band called Silosis. Man, they are sick. They're like one of my favorite bands, like top 5, you know. But this was the first band that like got me interested in actually learning some lead play. Like I'd never really cared about, you know, playing solos or anything like that. But just, you know, Josh Middleton of that band, the dude shreds. And I learned about sweep picking, which goes like this. A little sloppy, but you know. But they were kind of thrashy, kind of progressive, and yeah, I learned how to sweep pick from that. And you know, started trying to incorporate like more solo play. I've never been like, you know, I don't force solos to be in my songs, but I definitely grew an appreciation for them and like could recognize when there were parts like, okay, this song would do good to have a solo here. And so, you know, Silosis definitely influenced a lot of my solo play, as well as probably a few other bands. I had written solos before Silosis, but you know, definitely, you know, they once I started getting into like all this progressive technical metal stuff, that definitely elevated my guitar playing and helped me get better. I kind of got, you know, that's all I cared about for a while, was just like getting really good at guitar. After sweeping, and again, that's pretty big on like the song Waiting that I played earlier. The solo there, I've got a sweeping solo. So definitely a lot of influence from Silosis in there. And let's see here. I think the last one, there's a band called The Faceless, and they've been pretty influential. Again, just like really like technical and like dramatic sounding music. It was like just so cool. And I kind of got like, it's kind of funny. There's a song from them that goes, let me see if I can play it. Yeah, this one right here. They have a song that goes, hope I'm playing that in the right place. think I'm playing in the wrong place, but it was something like that. But the way they like included all these notes, you know, I was just like, you know, I love that kind of notey stuff. You know, it's a lot more, especially as a guitarist. To me, it's a lot more fun to play that kind of stuff than just like regular chords. And so it's kind of funny, but that song, or you know, a lot of their playing, I incorporated that in my. I incorporated it in a lot of stuff, but in my my cover of Into the Unknown, there's a lot of that influence in there. Because, you know, rather than just doing like a chord progression, you're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. Like, you could do that. Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. But I didn't want to, you know, I wanted something like, you know, more fun. So, you're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I feel. Just something with more movement and something a little more, you know, impressive. So yeah, the Faceless was definitely a big influence in that kind of thing. And I also learned one of my favorite chords from the Faceless, which is this. It's a really hard chord to play. But they played a lot of chords like that, and so I use that in Love's Not Fair. I use that one in Into the Unknown also. Into the unknown, you know. So yeah, it's a tough chord to play, but like it just sounds really cool. I'm playing it a little sloppy right now, but you get the idea. So yeah, and you know, so I learned a lot of that technical stuff, but then, you know, where I am now, I definitely still, you know, for a while I was kind of promoting myself as a progressive metal artist, but I just don't think that's my audience. I think, you know, I think I still love, you know, progressive technical metal and that kind of thing, but I think that kind of audience, like, it's a lot of, you know, people, they just like guitars and riffs and that kind of thing, and at the end of the day, as much as I love that stuff, like, I'm a songwriter first, and that's what I want to do, is like just really write songs. So I'm always still going to have influence from those things. You know, there's still going to be like some kind of progressive elements in my music, but it's always going to be to support a song of some kind. So that's kind of where I'm going. Anyways, guys, whew, it is getting late, but again, I'm going to play one more song for you, but thank you so much. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, you know, just been kind of sharing an insight of all this stuff. I didn't get to go over the meaning of all my songs, but, you know, I played a few of them. In fact, I think I'll go ahead and play Love's Not Fair. I think that's going to be my last one. And again, I released this song a few months ago, and I recently, like this week, I shot a video for the acoustic version. I'm going to be releasing a stripped-down version, just acoustic and vocals, and the video is going to be in black and white, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. The cinematography was, like, I was getting some pretty cool shots that I was pleased with, and I'm excited for you guys to see it. But you know, the meaning of this song, this is just a song about God's grace. That's why it's called Love's Not Fair, because love is not fair. Like, at first it kind of sounds like a complaint, like, love's not fair, you know. But that's what love is, you know. Anyone, whoa, knocking over my mic stand here. There we go. Okay. Anyone can love somebody who loves them back, you know. That's super easy, you know. Everyone does that, you know. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. That's like kind of how the world lives by. But loving someone who doesn't love you back, like, that's a lot harder to do, you know. And not as many people do that. Usually, if someone isn't nice to us, the first thing we want to do, our first instinct is just to, well, I'm not going to be nice to them, you know. But yeah, anyone can do that. So like, what difference are you really making if that's your definition of love? You know, if you're only going to be nice to people who are nice to you, you know, what change is going to happen in the world? Because that's how everyone operates. by being that different person. Like when someone's unkind to you, but you say, well, you know what, I'm not gonna return that. I'm not gonna be hateful to you. I'm still gonna try to be kind and work things out. Showing that love to people that are difficult to love. That's kind of when things change, and so that's the same kind of love God shows us. It's something that I had learned. The main reason I had written the song was, because I would play these special songs at church. I'd get to share a song, and it was always someone else's song. But I'd get pretty emotional doing it. I was just, because I always picked something that was very meaningful to me. And, people would be like, man, that was so good. Did you write that song? And I was like, no, I didn't write it. And so I was like, I'd like to play a song for them that I did write. But again, I was kind of trying to do this like whole metal career thing. And I could have played a metal song for church and they'd be fine with that. But I wanted to play something that they'd actually enjoy, something they'd actually like and not just be kind about. So I was like, well, what if I could write a song, like a soft one that was metal, but I could play it on acoustic. And so that's kind of when I started working on Love's Not Fair. And it's kind of just a song about something that I struggled with, when I was when I was younger. I just, I was always kind of known as a nice guy, and I had friends, I had guy friends, I had girl friends, friends who were girls, and I respected them, and I wanted to be a kind, respectful guy, but I did kind of have this struggle with lust, there were some things I was looking at that I wish I wasn't, and the thing I hated most about it was that it was never enough. Like, it was just a little bit at first, but it always needed to be more. It always needed something more. And the other thing I hated about it is it felt like it just felt like something would kind of take over me, like for a moment, while I was struggling with it, and then afterwards, again, like I would just. It's like the real me would return, and I'd just kind of be like, I would just feel guilty, like, man, that's not who I want to be, like people know me as this kind of nice guy. I don't want them to think of me as some hypocrite. I don't want them to think of me as some pervert, and it didn't feel like the real me, but it was like this other me that would take over, and then like it wasn't until afterwards that like the real me would return, and I'd just be like, oh my gosh, I kind of hated myself for it, and I would ask God for forgiveness. But I never really believed it, I just kind of like, I felt like it can't be that simple, like I deserve some kind of punishment. And so I'd always kind of beat myself up about it, but somehow I just kind of kept falling back into it. But I think I was reading my Bible one day, and there's this verse about how he doesn't treat us as our sins deserve. And, when he forgives us, he casts our sins as far as the east is from the west. And the east and the west, they never meet. So like when he forgives you, that's what grace is. You can't earn grace. That's why it's a gift from God. And like when I mess up, he is willing to forgive me, and I don't have to beat myself up for that, because there's nothing I can do to earn it. That's why it's a gift. That's what makes it love. And so I decided to start believing that. I decided, okay, the next time I mess up, I'll ask for forgiveness, and then I'll choose to believe it. And that's what I did. Sure enough, I messed up again. But this time I chose to believe that I was forgiven, and something changed. All of a sudden, instead of feeling guilty and regretful, now I felt grateful. And it was just like that gratitude just motivated me. Like suddenly my desires changed. Like I didn't want to be that anymore, and I just wanted to show that gratitude, and so I started kind of drawing closer to God and seeking Him, and it helped me. Sorry, trying to keep it together, but it helped me overcome that, and I haven't struggled with that for years. It took me a while to even get comfortable to even talk about it, but it's been long enough where it's something that that doesn't control me anymore. It's something I'm free of, and so. So that's what this song is, that's what it's about. It's just about grace and about how love, it's not fair. It's not something that you can earn. And I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful for God's grace. Yeah. So this one's called Love's Not Fair.
staring at my own reflection through shattered bits of glass, showing me the perfect picture of who I really am. But when you look at me, you never turn away. Kneeling next to me and picking up the pieces. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. I am such a useless failure, falling to the ground. Every effort that I muster is never good enough. But when you look at me, standing next to me and holding out your hand, why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then baby, I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. If I'd take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. So stop beating up myself. You took the punishment yourself. And it's just foolish pride to think that I could ever hurt myself enough to cover what I've done. I could cut myself dry and it still would never be enough. It makes no sense at all. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. But love isn't fair. In spite of all I am, you chose to die for me, and that isn't fair. But love's not fair. Thank you. Again, that one's Love's Not Fair, and I have released that song. You can find it on Spotify or wherever you like to listen to music. But I'm going to be releasing a stripped-down version, just the vocals and the acoustic guitar. That's going to be coming out soon, hopefully in the next couple weeks. So, yep. I think we're going to wrap things up. I'll catch up with the chat real quick, but thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all tuning in and supporting me, and you know, we made it to 100 streams, and we'll see where things go from here. You know, I'm always striving to keep learning and keep improving. But yep, just catching up with the chat. Yep, Stan says really enjoyed this. Here for you always. Here for 100 more. Well, thanks, Stan. Yeah, appreciate that. Love you, brother. Thank you. Life is beautiful. Wonderful testimony. That was beautiful. Thank you. Yep. And that's how much God loves us. It's absolutely
absolutely amazing, undeserved. I look at my own son and know that I will always love him, even if and when and how bad he might mess things up. So, that's the beautiful thing about love. But guys, thank you so much for your support. Again, let's see, I've got a link here in just a moment, but. Yeah, so I do have this gift shop, still kind of getting it worked out and stuff, but if you'd like to support me, there is a virtual tip jar there. If you'd like to be notified about my next releases, songs, kind of stay up to date with videos and things, there is an email list that you can sign up for through that link. You can find all that stuff there, and I'm working to get merch developed, so that'll be eventually available there. But again, my biggest goal right now is just continuing to build an audience, and so I appreciate it. Getting to know you all and hoping we can continue to kind of grow and shape this community and it's shaping up to be something awesome. So I can never say it enough. I appreciate you guys so much, and looking forward to see what is to come. So that's it. That's going to be it for this stream. I've got to wrap things up, get me some dinner. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Sorry, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.